Hi there, greetings from Dubai. So you're on your second date and you're trying to get to sex and she says no. What do you then do once that date is over? Do you continue to the third date and try again? Do you just let her go? I get a lot of questions about this. I will answer them in this video. I am Caleb Jones. This is Alpha Male 2.0, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We do 5 videos a week here on how to make your business life and woman life more free because you need both. By the way, we are doing an online course giveaway right now. This is my online course on how you can design your own location independent income. That normally costs about $1,400, but you might be able to get it for free. All you need to do is be a subscriber here at YouTube, like this video and leave a comment on this video, and I will announce the winner of the drawing at the YouTube community feed here at this YouTube channel. So one of the most common questions I get in terms of dating, in terms of the Blackdragon dating model, is what to do after the second date if you don't get to sex. So to put this in context, the Blackdragon dating model that I talk about in my Blackdragon books is you have one very brief 1-hour first date where you don't spend any money or a very small amount of money, like at a place like a Starbucks or something like that. You do not kiss her. You do not try to have sex with her. You don't do any of that stuff on the first date. On the second date, ideally, if you can, you try to get her back to your place. And after talking for a while, then you make the escalation to sex. And ideally, the objective is to get to sex on that second date. So I have a lot of guys say, well, what if you don't get to sex on that second date? Because sometimes you won't. No model works 100% of the time with every woman. That's not how life works. It will work most of the time if you do things correctly. But yes, there will be times where she will not be ready to have sex with you by the second date. Or there will be times in the second date where you will get sexual, but not all the way to sex. So what do you then do? Do you just say, okay, forget her, move on, go to the next woman on the list? Or do you try again for the third date? And then the follow-up question is, what happens after the third date? What if after the third date you don't have sex? So let me cover all that. So in terms of the model, if you're following the model as I talk about, the goal for the second date is to get as far as you can, ideally to sex. If you don't get to sex, that's okay. You have a third date, and the third date is basically a repeat of the second date. She comes back over to your place, and you proceed and get as far as you can. Obviously, of course, as I have to say for legal reasons, if she says no, you stop immediately. Of course, of course, of course. But the issue is what to do after she has said no and she's left your house, whether or not to see her again. So if you do not have sex on the second date, perfectly fine. Go for the third date and try again. Now, what you don't want to do on the third date is have her come over to your place on the second date, and for the third date, you go out to dinner, and then she goes home. You can go to a bar or Starbucks-like location on the third date. That's fine. Do not go to dinner. Do not go to dinner. Buying dinner is for women you've already had sex with at least twice. We know those women are more likely to stick around. If you buy dinner for a woman you haven't had sex with twice, the odds are too high that she'll vanish before you ever get to sex and you've just wasted your time and your money. So no, but you can have the third date at a bar or something like that. If you saw her at a bar on the second date and you need to see her at another bar on the third date, that's fine. Just make sure it's a different bar. Don't use the same location on both dates. That's silly. But other than that, it is a repeat of the model of the second date. You go out to a bar, Starbucks, what have you, then you get her back to your place if you can, and then you proceed and get as far as you can on the third date. Now, third date. What if, Caleb, she doesn't get to sex on the third date? In my opinion, you should let her go. That is my opinion, and here's why I have that opinion. It's not just an opinion I pulled out of the air. I have that opinion for a very specific, logical, objective reason. Your objective likely is to have multiple non-monogamous relationships if you're following the Alpha Male 2.0 model. Even if you're not following that model, you're a guy and you want sex. So a woman who is super uncomfortable having sex with you after 3 dates, which is unusual in today's modern era, that is likely a woman who is not sexually compatible with you. Now, if you watching this video are a hardcore evangelical Christian and you've only had sex with 2 women in your entire life and the only reason you're dating right now is to get married as quickly as possible, then maybe you could argue with what I just said. But you're probably following my content because you're not in that category, right? Right. So that means if a woman is nervous or uncomfortable or for whatever reason, maybe it's not nervous or discomfort. Maybe she already has a boyfriend and she doesn't want to tell you. There could be all kinds of funky reasons why women say no to sex that often have nothing to do with you. But regardless of that reason, if she is resisting sex after 3, full meets with you, this is not a woman who is sexually relaxed. This is probably not a woman who is very sex positive. This is probably not a woman you want to date in your life, even as an FB. That's my opinion. I certainly wouldn't want to be into a serious relationship with a woman who would not want to have sex with me after 3 dates. On the 4th or 5th or 6th date, that's crazy. And that includes women who I've been in very serious relationships with, including my wife. My wife did not make me wait past 3 dates to have sex with her. And if she had, I would have vanished out of her life and moved on to the next woman. And my wife and I have a great relationship. We've been together for 6-ish years now. It's great. So this model works. So that's why I think you should nicely be nice, be polite, move on from any woman who doesn't want to have sex with you after 3 dates. Now, the one exception I can think to that would be if you were getting very, very sexual on the 2nd and 3rd date and not quite to sex, then maybe you could make the argument to give it one more try on the 4th date if she agrees to come to your house or your place on the 4th date. But that's an odd scenario. Most women who are uncomfortable having sex by the 3rd date are not going to be very sexual at all. It's usually part and parcel of that type of woman, which is my point. Make sense? I hope that helps. If you need help with this or more help with your dating life or your relationship life, enrollment for the Focus program is now open. That is where I coach with you personally, one-on-one, plus a small group of guys every month for an entire year throughout all of 2021. Plus you get all of my books and courses for free. If you want more information on that, you can click this video right here. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.